One night, another night on the night shift at the bakery that summer when we didn't know about time or the future or anything, I walked through the gates and into the yard as the day waned along with my will to live. Daniel had parked the van in the car park and was just getting out as I walked up. He'd risked driving the van because he needed some money quick. He'd parked it there for the evening before and worked yesterday's night shift and slept in the van all day. Couldn't be bothered to drive it back to the flat. A self-sacrifice to the propagation of his own myth, which no one believed anyway. Hey! Wasn't really much to say. I stood there watching as he shunted the door shut. He was dressed in his second best black cotton trousers, i.e. his other black cotton trousers. Espadrilles, some shirt I gave him from Egypt he'd dyed purple, impractical neckerchief, beret. If you can imagine a bleached jazz musician with burgundy pawn hair and Cyrano de Bergerac's whiskers, you've got him. Myself, I'm sporting one of those dark, brimless Russian sailing caps, lank, dead hair lying dead on my shoulders, overlong canvas trousers ripped open at the bottom at the back by treading on them as I walk, black t-shirt over a white t-shirt, baseball boots, 3-day no-shave, scowl. If you can imagine a twat, you've got me. We turned and walked across the cement towards the gaping maw of employment. It was Friday, payday, wow, meaning. We weren't used to it. We also weren't used to turning time into money, having experienced a surfeit of the former and a dearth of the latter for so long. Our hour was worth such and such an amount of money, where previously we'd measured it in terms of pints or movies or sleep or just other hours. But now the coin conferred identity. We became the bearer, the recipient of a promise from who? Based on what? This had been worrying me ever since I found out Breton Woods wasn't a painter. Just take a moment and indulge the iconography of me and Dan walking from his van across the car park to the bakery, from college to employment, theory to practice, hope to despair, from debt to even more debt. Let's say the sun was going down, all lyrically, the shadows taking giant steps on the concrete in front of us. It's a pretty big walk, going nowhere, no going back. There are some important walks you take in your life, to school, down the aisle, up the scaffold. Remember the last walks in the Wild Bunch, the Searchers, the Third Man. I'm glad I took that walk with my friend Daniel, not because I like him, but because misery loves company. Work, the abysmal abyss, the eternal chasm between effort and reward, fueled by the confusion of necessity with desire. A greater necessity dictates that trading a period of existence for a quantity of sustenance is an uneven deal, a shell game. You sell your time, they give you your money, but they still give you less money than your time is worth. Your time is measured in labour, which produces something which is owned by someone else, who pays you with a token, which you can exchange later for the thing that you produced. But the owner has to make more from selling the thing that you produced back to you than they paid you for making it. So, say you work for 1 hour and produce X, and X is worth Y on the market, and you are paid Z for your hour. The profit motive demands that Y is greater than Z. But your problem is you want to buy X, and you do, you silly cunt, you do fucking buy it. Instant deficit. The instant solution? Credit. And guess who's got enough money they can lend you some? Yeah, the guy who's been busy creaming off the surplus from your labour. He doesn't exactly have anything else to do with it except put it back into the system, where it'll create more of itself. And credit just gets you deeper in the hole because of the interest. So you're fucked 2 times. If the washing don't get you, the rinsing will. Exactly why someone else should profit from the fruits of your labour is difficult to explain, which is exactly why they make you work so hard, so you're too knackered to complain. If you can see any gaps in this argument, John Locke and the proletariat would like to hear from you. Of course, it's an old story that capital produces nothing but capital, but this is surely the true tautology, the real nihilism. Something that produces itself, justifies its own existence and makes its own rules. A self-contained coherence is only legitimate in isolation and might not be the only way to think about the world. Ask the people who wrote the non-Euclidean geometry. 1 and 1 is only 2 because 2 minus 1 is 1. A farmer manures a field of grass which his livestock eat, and they produce manure which he ploughs back into the field, which produces grass for his livestock to eat and convert into manure, which Money, like maths and shit, is the authentic, self-perpetuating cycle.